It's technically not a must-win situation for the Boston Celtics, but let's be honest, it really is. No team has come back from 0-3 to win an NBA playoff series. The Celtics dropping the first two games in spectacular fashion. We know this, the Garden, it is going to be popping. It feels like the most meaningful game in the Big Apple in a really long time. Can Jalen Brunson and company put the defending champs on the ropes an inch closer to the conference final? Welcome to Playoff Central Live, presented by State Farm to Bill Cream alongside Dennis Scott. And this has this really cool feel. Not if you're a Celtics fan right now, because you're probably a little nervous, but from what the Knicks have done in this series, because I don't think anybody would have predicted they'd be up 2-0 right now.
No, I'm going to start with the Celtics first. This is a good feeling as well, to be the underdog in this particular situation. When the series started, everyone in basketball land was saying the Celtics are going to probably repeat, even if they meet the Cavaliers in Game 7. Remember, you and I talked about that for the last couple months. Most people are still picking Boston. So for Celtic fans, how much of a believer are you? Do you believe in Tatum? Do you believe in Brown? Do you believe what Mazzulla has taught this team the last couple of years? We shoot a lot of threes. Right now, those three balls aren't going in. But now, if you're a Knicks fan, you're running around New York City biting on your apple like, yeah, go New York, go New York, go, because you know the numbers that you just told our viewers. Right. The numbers are the numbers. You go up 3-0, no team ever.
I'm just going to counter you.
See what I mean? Ever.
Let me counter you for 1 second.
Okay, go ahead.
Kristaps Porzingis said this the other day. He said now we're kind of the underdogs. The roles have reversed. Fans on the other side, Celtics fans, did not like that perspective.
He told the truth. Why Celtic fans and basketball fans, why do you want one of your best players to lie to you? That's the truth. Right now, today, you're not the favorite to come out this series because what the New York Knicks have done to you, went into your backyard, smacked you twice, and won 2 tight ball games. The numbers are the numbers. So now you have to go into the Garden, and depending on who you speak to today, those tickets are sky high right now.
$700 to walk in.
For a nosebleed seat.
Yes.
$700 to $800.
Yes.
We're not talking about the high rent district downstairs.
Listen, it is a surprising situation, I think, for most people to say that the Knicks are up 2-0 right now. And you go back to the regular season and you look at the season series between them, and that's why. Look what the Celtics did against the Knicks in the regular season. They were dominant. However, in these first 2 games, and you can argue, we can talk about this after, but the Knicks haven't played their best basketball just yet either.
Exactly.
Which is wild. Let's hear from Joe Mazzulla, though, on being down 0-2.
You can't just have a pride and entitlement that, we're holier than thou, that we're not allowed to be down 0-2. This is the situation that we're in. So we have to have an understanding of why we're in it, and we got to fix it. And we have an opportunity to fix that. So, yeah, I do relish that because these moments are all forgotten if you transition them into taking advantage of the opportunity that you have. We have to win.
We have an identity, and it can't waver just because, we missing shots. We can't change who we are. And, I always say you got to be the same person when things are going well and when things aren't going well. And, it's not about our season being 2 games from over. Like, that hasn't crossed any of our minds.
We know we put the work in. We know what we have in this locker room. And, we deserve to be in this moment, but we also know we don't deserve the moment yet. We haven't earned the right to capture the moment. We have to do a lot more work playing one of the best teams in the NBA. And we know we can't relax at any point.
Listen, the Knicks paid a hefty price for Mikal Bridges, and it's paying off in the biggest moments of the season's Game 1 and Game 2.
Oh, Nabil, such great points you're bringing up right now, because every time something goes wrong in a trade, people go back to the New York trade and what they got for him, and right now it's money well spent at the crucial time of the year, so you got to love it. Look at that play right now. They had the presence to leave his man, which is Jaylen Brown, by the way, people at home, to get a big-time block and steal to seal the ball game. So those type of things outside of the blocking and steal, but the effort doesn't show up in the box score. And to your point, you and I were just speaking before the show, is that a lot of the numbers you have in this series, you can kind of throw out the window. It's all about the fourth quarter. Can the Knicks be where they need to be to have a chance to win the ball game? Because you hit it right on the head. The Knicks haven't played great basketball in this series yet.
Okay, so how are they winning these games? Because in both games, they've been down 20 points. And to this Boston Celtics team, again, if you're just joining this series right now, it's very hard to believe that they would give up both of those leads.
It's the grit and it's the effort down the stretch. Both of these games, correct me if I'm wrong, they were down by 20, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So now you figure out the small details, if it's the free throws, if it's the bad turnover at the wrong time of the game. The Knicks have capitalized on each of those opportunities at the fourth quarter, and then they go on and win the ball game.
And you look at the numbers in the fourth quarter. Speaking of that, I mean, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have been outscored by OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges.
OG, we always say there's an OG in the house, but every time the Knicks step in, there's a real OG because his effort on both ends of the floor are really shining. So the casual fans like, I don't remember him playing this well when he's a champion playing with the Toronto Raptors. Well, he was playing with other great players. Of course, Kawhi Leonard was the main guy. Now he's showing that he can be a main guy when things are going well. So to your point, when Bridges and Brunson aren't shooting the ball well, I didn't know OG can make those timely threes that he's making throughout the whole playoffs, let alone in this series.
Yeah, the moment hasn't been too big for him.
No,
right?
No. Not too big on either in the floor.
Right.
Think about it. He's guarding Tatum one possession, guarding Brown the next possession. Then he switches out on White. And he's pretty much guarding 1 through 5 because we know when Porzingis is healthy, he's more of a stretch 5, and OG can guard him as well.
Let's stick with Mikal Bridges here for a second because, again, he deserves a lot of credit. And when you look at the numbers for the first 3 quarters of Game 2, I mean, you looked at those numbers and they were kind of gross because he was minus 19, 0 of 8 from the field. But in that fourth quarter, once again, 3D on both ends of the floor, especially offensively, he really came through.
Mikal Bridges in that category, and people at home, stay with me when I break this down for you. You really throw out the numbers when it comes to Mikal Bridges because he plays winning basketball. We know we're not going to make every shot, but he's always going to make the right extra pass. You know he's always going to be in the right defensive rotation like he showed us in Game 2 when he wasn't shooting the ball well. Remember, he was, I think, 0-7 at one point in time.
Yeah.
So winning basketball shows up at the right time. And I think that's what Mikal Bridges is showing all the people that may not say, well, he's not a superstar. Well, he's a superstar in his role. He's making superstar plays at the right time.
Shout out to Mitchell Robinson.
Yes.
Who has been a major X factor off the bench. And again, we haven't seen Jalen Brunson come out with the classic Jalen Brunson type of game yet. So those are positives for the New York Knicks. When you take a look, we heard from Jason Tatum earlier. He struggled in this series so far. And you look at the numbers, it really backs that up. Take a look at this here. 18 points per game, just 28% from the field, 25 from 3. What is this Knicks defense doing to him, 3D?
You just got to give Coach Tibbs and his staff a lot of credit, the way they're communicating on the defensive end. The way they're moving their feet, the way when they switch with purpose, not switching with letting the guy continue to drive to the basket. So right now, Jason Tatum has to figure out to put the ball on the floor a few times, get to the basket like he showed us late in the game.
Okay, so how does he change this here? Because, again, you're a three-point shooter, 25% for you. I mean, that is not Jason Tatum numbers.
No, it's not. So come on, man. It's real simple, Nabil. You know how much I love basketball.
All right, let's see it.
Perfect pass like Penny Hardaway or Shaq would give to me. So if you're telling me that I made my name and the rest of the NBA, they love this three-point line. It's a copycat league. But the right now today are the right guys taking those shots? Well, the Celtics have proven us when they put 5 guys on the floor all the way to Porzingis, even Al Horford late in his career, this is his shot. Now, people at home, even me, would say, you know what? Let's put the ball on the floor. Let's get to the basket. Let's make us a layup. And then, I said make us a layup, right? My bad. Can I make a layup today?
You got it. There
we go. I'll make a layup. Then come back. Then come back to the three-point line, get fouled, get a free throw or something. And then now you've seen the ball go through the net. Now you're a little more excited. Now the ball is kicking. Now you're drawing and kicking. You're getting wide open shots. If they don't do that,
right,
Tatum, this is where I disagree just a little bit. I understand you are who you are. I get that. But if you're not getting quality threes, if you're not mixing it up, if you're not making the Knicks work, come on. You got to mix it up. The ball, look at that, come on. He had a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, a cup of latte, and still missed that shot. Sometimes you got to mix it up, drive the ball to the basket. Make the first layup. Don't make the third one like I did. Like he showed us those last 25 seconds. When they come out of that timeout, I thought it was some big misdirection play was going to come. Boom, one pick down the hill, dunk the basketball up by 1. Early in the game, get to the basket a little bit more than usual.
Vince Carter was saying the same thing on Thursday when we were talking about Ant-Man and his struggles from 3. Start by getting to the hoop, right? Switch it up, open that game up for him.
Because that's who you are, because the last 3 years, Missoula says, I don't mind us taking from 40 to 50 to 60 threes a night. So when you know you have that freedom, you have to attack the defense sometime. Every time that they switch with Jaylen Brown guarding Tatum, Tatum lets him off the hook. Right. You saw the last couple of games in the Denver series. Every time a small guy gets on Joker, he backs him in the paint, he shoots over a chair, and he scores or gets fouled. That's what Tatum and Brown have to do when Brunson switches. Do not let Brunson off the hook. Make him work on the defensive end, hopefully to wear down his legs. Because like you said earlier, the numbers aren't great, but in the fourth quarter, Mr. Clutch shows up.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And then in the Garden, in that setting,
come on, man,
it's things
going to be crazy today. Good gracious.
Incredible. Hopefully Kristaps Porzingis, by the way, is somewhat healthy because he is a real X factor here. Now, coming up later this evening, Game 3 of the Timberwolves and Warriors. No Steph Curry once again. Can Ant-Man, we were talking about Ant-Man, in Minnesota take advantage and go up 2-1? So Minnesota's offense was night and day from games 1 and 2. So much more efficient, so much more active as they take game 2 and tie up the series. Here's Anthony Edwards on that left ankle scare that happened.
We've seen you go down before and get right up. Did that one feel different at all? Or how
that one was bad. If y'all see, he like stepped on my foot, so yeah, that one was crazy. But I'll be all right. Anytime I got turned my ankle, we do like ankle moves. And once we got to like the third movement in my ankle, I'm like, it's starting to feel good. Like, you tape it, I'll see how it feels.
One thing about Ant, he's not gonna sit out. Like, he's got to be damn near dead.
He got to have his leg chopped off or some shit. My fault.
On that Draymond moment, were you frustrated or disappointed how much he seemed to lose it a little bit?
It's part of Draymond. It's our job to try to help him stay poised, stay composed. But the competition is so meaningful to him that, occasionally he goes over the line.
I'm not an angry black man. I'm a very successful, educated black man with a great family. And I'm great at basketball. I'm great at what I do. The agenda to try to keep making me look like an angry black man is crazy. I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous.
All right, to get some context there, the Timberwolves are investigating some fans there who were there were some racially charged comments towards Draymond Green towards the end of that game. So adding some extra emotion to all of this. But when you hear Draymond and you saw what happened, I mean, what's your reaction to that?
It's a lot of emotions there in the bill and for our viewers because we know that Draymond has opened up a lot of windows for people to throw extra things through them at him. So now how does he respond in a way where he's remorseful in some of those actions that he shows because he has to go back like he saw early in the Houston series where he said he was embarrassed for 48 hours, couldn't wait to get back on the court. So we do know there is a human being inside of all of those antics he showed us over the years. So, Draymond, I think what we, the fans that love you, we're saying, how do you stay away from those moments that have us question you? Even us guys who's played the game, we know the difference of when we get fouled and when the arm goes up versus when the arm goes out. Once, twice, maybe. But now, as the kids say, you have too many receipts now of your arms going that way versus the scorers, the shooters, we go up this way, so your arms go up. So now if the defense is in the way, we'll get hit sometime. But there's too many videos that we can go to where your elbows go that way. And that's where the casual fan looks at that and say, I can't, even if I did play basketball, I still don't process that in a way where it makes sense to me in the middle of a game.
And they need him in this series. He's 2 technicals away from being suspended, especially without
more without coming. I mean, nobody in their right mind is going to believe that without Steph Curry, you can win this series. But when you have someone like him, you can muck the game up, make it ugly. Hopefully, Buddy can shoot the ball like he shot in the Houston series. Other guys get hot. Trace Jackson comes off the bench, has one of those games he had, and then you still another game. Then doubt creeps in. Then humanity kicks in, and maybe you do it's game 7, and then here comes Steph running out there with one hamstring and something crazy happens. But you have to be on, I don't want to say best behavior, just being on your behavior to help your team win ball games.
What approach should Jimmy Butler have in this game? Because it seemed like in game 2, he was passive. He was trying to get his guys involved, but they clearly need him to score the basketball at the same time.
Someone got mad at me the other day. I said, you're asking Jimmy Butler to be 28 when he took or 29. Like, you're asking a 33-year-old to...
Talk about bubble Jimmy.
Yes, that's not realistic. The Jimmy today just be more aggressive. That's what you have to change. You understand now you have to take 20, 25 shots a night. You told us you're not a volume shooter to set us up to to show you that you're not going to shoot a lot of shots. I said, I see what you did there. No, I'm not letting you off the hook. You have to be a volume shooter for this team to have a chance to steal ball game and stay in the series.
And he did say after game 2 he can still score 40 when his team needs
stop telling me that.
His team definitely needs it now.
We need 40. We need 40 and some change.
What about Jonathan Kuminga and the performance he had? He gave them a boost in game 2. He was a big reason why they cut it to 7 at one point. Does Steve Kerr have to start him now? I know he's going to have to play more minutes for sure, but what's Kuminga's role in all this?
You know, we have our coaches' meetings when we do our games, right?
Right.
I was sitting in the meeting this morning and asked Steve, why have you been playing mind games with Kuminga? What have you been telling him? Because it's clear-cut the talent's there. It's clear-cut the athleticism's there. But something is a disconnect where the coach and the player are now on the same page where I play a little bit, I don't play at all, then I get thrown out there and everyone's like, well, why is he not playing? That's strictly from the coach and player relationship. That's what I would ask Steve Kerr, and then I would bring that to our fans. Say, this is the disconnect where Kuminga's not doing something, why Coach Kerr is not comfortable putting him on the floor more.
So if you are Steve Kerr, you're going into this game, how are you using Jonathan Kuminga?
I'm going to him and whatever miscommunication I'm saying, look, young fella, I apologize, whatever it is, you're playing. Same thing with Trace Jackson or all those guys, because I think he played the whole bench that first half the other night.
They played 14 guys the other
Yes, you have to, because there's no replacement of that guy. Right. There's no replacement number 30.
Yeah, he called it the trickle-down effect of missing Steph Curry.
Yes.
You got to find a new rotation.
But that's opportunity, though, Nabil.
Yes.
So that's what Trace showed. So it's like, wait a minute, why is he not playing a little bit more?
Right.
So you start asking those questions. So sometimes as a coach, you may have this burden or this roadblock while you're not playing a guy. Well, the opportunity made you play him. So now you're looking some kind of way while you're not using these young legs, fresh legs, and the rebound, and the things that you're losing ball games for, and you got a live body that can help you, then sometimes it backfires on you.
Anthony Edwards is almost not human. I mean, the guy, the way he bounced back, and you thought when you originally saw it, knowing the history of the LeBron James with almost the same injury falling on that left ankle, but for him to bounce back and come back in that game was pretty remarkable.
I said, get up, man, before I call the 85 kids. Get up, stop fading, nothing wrong with you. You're built like a cyborg. You're a football player. Personally, NBA players, which you are.
Yeah, for people who don't know, I'm sure everybody knows by now. He was a great football player.
Oh, man, he's just a freak of nature. I'm just happy he bounced back. I'm happy for the fans that, you know, in Minnesota that they have a guy like him. Just want him to stay focused, continue to be a great leader, and just lead his team to the next level.
As great as Anthony Edwards is, it feels like Julius Randle is almost the X factor here because he's been great throughout the playoffs. And in this series, I mean, I don't think anyone can guard him really right now.
Well, it's the same thing we always talk about, Nabil. It's a great opportunity for Randle to change the narrative because the narrative was he's a great talent. He only goes one way. He doesn't play winning basketball. And then for him to tell us being hurt was a blessing for him because he sat on the sideline and watched how he can impact winning. Not impact numbers, not impact come back and get 30 a night. How can I impact winning and get us back to the top of the heap where they once were last year?
Right.
How can I change that narrative? Most people said Cat was a better fit. I don't hear that now in the playoffs because he's playing winning basketball.
You know, you look at the box score of that game and just watching that game, Minnesota, when they are going and when they are right, they are 8-9 deep. And their players, I mean, Nickeil Alexander-Walker goes for 20 in that game. You got Jaden McDaniels. You got Naz Reid. When they are right, that is such a talented roster.
Jaden McDaniels, to me, is the X factor in this series. Even though I know he's, you know, mild continues, real quiet spoken, but his game, these playoffs have really, really shown us this is why they gave you that big contract a few years ago. You are a true 3-and-D guy for that moniker, if you will. You shoot the ball well, you defend well, you play in space, you rebound in traffic, you do all those things. I just want more. I get agree. When he's playing well, I'm like, give me more. Yeah. And Ant-Man's putting that battery in your back, giving you more. So if I'm him, I'm like, I should be thinking shoot every time because I know I'm not going to take a bad shot. And that's sometimes hard for a young guy to say, wait a minute, our star is telling me to shoot more because he believes in what you do and you're not going to take bad shots.
Defensively, he doesn't have to chase Steph Curry for a couple more games, which is kind of nice.
Legs, fresh legs.
100%. The Garden, hey, getting back to our first game, it's going to be bonkers tonight. That man, Jaylen Brown, massive stakes for his team, the Boston Celtics. Can the champs pull off their best game of the season? Let's get some predictions here. Celtics and the Knicks. Let's start with that one. What are you seeing in this one?
Oh, my goodness.
Who's taking this game?
Ask me that question differently.
Who's winning this game?
Ask me in a different way again.
Who needs to win this game?
The Knicks.
Okay.
Thank you, because I want the Knicks to be greedy. I want them to understand, you win this ball game, the numbers speak for itself. Nobody's ever come back from down 0-3.
Right.
So be greedy. Now, on the flip side, if you're a Celtic fan, why not be on the flip side? Because you educate me on baseball when they've been down before, you come back and win. So there you go.
All right, quickly, T-Wolves and Warriors. Who's winning?
Wolves. No Steph Curry, Wolves.
All right. We got complete post-game coverage coming up on Playoff Central Live right here on NBA TV after the game. 3D, Brendan Hayward, they're going to break it all down. We're here from the players, coaches. Enjoy the game. We'll see you then.